Hi, I'm Donna from donnaonthebeach.com and welcome to Ask Donna, the video series where I answer your questions about making your dreams a reality. This week's question comes from Rob, who says, I keep sabotaging myself. In everything I do, every new thing I try, I just seem to mess it up. It's got to the point I can't even talk to my friends about it because they just want to kick my backside. What is wrong with me? Why can't I pursue my big dream? Okay, well, first things first, Rob, I want you to stop beating yourself up. We have all of these labels for ourselves these days. We have self-sabotage, and we use them as another stick with which to beat ourselves. And you know what? If that worked, I would say, hey, get more sticks, beat yourself more. But it really doesn't. It's not helpful. So let go of the need to kind of, what's wrong with me? Instead, start to think, okay, I am an intelligent, creative, clever guy with a big dream. Something is going on here. You know what? We seem to have this impression of ourselves that we are like naughty children almost. Like, you should do your homework. Well, do you know what? I don't want to. It's quite simple. You know, and as we grow up we get so used to having that finger wagging thing going on, but it's not very motivating, and it's also a bit of a weird way of getting the best from yourself, because if you're constantly finger wagging at yourself, I don't know about you, but I have like that inner rebel, you know, that inner recalcitrant teenager, that inner teenager that's like rude hand gesture right at you. You know, I heckle myself and I want to stick two fingers up at myself for doing so. It's just not helpful. It just doesn't help. So stop it. Okay. So the interesting thing that I find though is I work with clients, and most of them start out thinking that, you know, they're like recalcitrant, naughty children, and they need beating and kind of motivating and make myself do it. And what they come to understand through coaching with me is that they don't need to do that at all. What they need to do is to trust in themselves and figure out what's going on, because every part of every body has a positive intention. And I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but I'll just put the link again to that video in the notes below, because it's a really important thing to understand that even if consciously you're not sure why you keep sabotaging yourself, there will be a positive intention. So let me give you a couple of examples of what it might be. Number one, I see a lot of this. People will say, yes, this is what I want to do, and their actions do not back that up. And this happens when you talk yourself into something intellectually, when you say, this is the best way to advance my career, even though I'm not even vaguely interested in it and it will bore me to death. Ever been in that position? Anybody watching this video? Or everybody watching this video? We've all done it. But that's one of the main things that I come across, is that people say, yes, this is what I want. I'm really passionate about it. But I can usually feel that I'm not feeling it. I'm not convinced. And almost always, it turns out they don't really want to do it at all. They just think it would be a good idea. So that can be one reason why you're self-sabotaging. Another reason is you're trying to protect yourself. We have fears of failure and fears of success. So we stop ourselves from trying so that we don't fail, to protect ourselves. And we stop ourselves from succeeding so that we don't have to deal with success, to protect ourselves. It's just a protection mechanism. And once you realise that that's what you're doing, you can kind of have a word with yourself and say, listen, I'm really grateful that you're trying to protect me, but actually it hurts more to stay like that than to grow into who I want to be. So thank you, but yeah, let's move on. You can protect me by just helping me get where I want to go. A third reason you might find for self-sabotaging is that there's some kind of obstacle or blockage or something going on. It might be a confidence issue, it might be just a recalibration issue. And by that, what I mean is sometimes we set off on a path, and as we get further along that path, we find that we're changing, really changing. And we do change as we grow. You know, you guys watching probably know what this is like if you've been away to college, or if you've moved away, or you've had kids or changed jobs. With each experience we change, and sometimes when we meet old friends who haven't seen us for 10 years, they're still relating to us as we used to be 10 years ago, and we've moved on, way on from there, and it's kind of, you need a bit of time to recalibrate the friendship. And the same thing can happen with ourselves when we're going along a path and we're like, oh, hold on, I need to upgrade my thinking about myself to, from the person who looked at people doing this going, wow, look at them, to I am the person who does that, rather than, because you sometimes still see yourself as that old person who hasn't changed, and that old person who's scared, and that kind of 3-year-old kid who's worried about stuff. You know, sometimes that can happen. So it could be that. There are many reasons to self-sabotage. I'm doing all this because I really hate the term self-sabotage, simply because I don't disagree that we do it, we do. But because it's become kind of a, oh, I'm sabotaging myself, therefore I'm bad. Do you know, and I just don't think that's helpful. Like, self-sabotage is just, all it is, your inner saboteur, their job is to point things out to you. When you find yourself getting in your own way, it's because there's something in the way that you need to clear, or you're going in completely the wrong direction. So let me give you an example of, imagine that your big dream is at the top of a staircase, and I'm imagining one of those beautiful staircases in the old halls, a kind of curved staircase that goes up and round like that. Beautiful. Anyway, I really want to own one of those staircases, and I also want to slide down the banisters. But that's another story. So imagine that your big dream is at the top of this staircase, okay? And you have to go up step by step by step by step by step to get to your big dream. If there's stuff on the steps that you can't get past, you just have to move it out of the way and keep going. That's what obstacles and barriers and blockages and roadblocks and all that kind of thing, that's what it's about. It's about stopping you and going, okay, I need to move this box. Or if I can't, it might be, oh, I'm going up the outside of the staircase. I'm actually going away from my dream, which is there. You know? That's the sort of thing that can happen. And we lump it all in with this self-sabotage. And the problem with that term is that it makes us look at ourselves like, oh, why am I doing that to myself? Why am I being bad? What is wrong with me for self-sabotaging? Well, nothing's wrong with you. There's a reason that saboteur comes up. That saboteur is just pointing to something that you need to be aware of, that you need to increase your confidence, that you need to get back on track with your actual big dream, not some stupid thing that you didn't really want to do but thought would be good for you. And I see that a lot with people, that they make choices based on, oh, well, what I really want to do, I'm really passionate about this, but I'm going to go and do this because this will get me a career. But I'm really passionate about this. And the irony is that if you follow the thing you're really passionate about, you'll find a career along the line. It's just that it's not linear and we can't see. You know, you go to medical school, you become a doctor or a nurse, or you get interested in healing and you start to learn about healing modalities and what is possible, and end up in a completely different place, and a heart-led place, and that's where we really want to go. So my advice for you, my 3-step plan, in fact, for you. Number 1, stop beating yourself up. If you want to call it self-sabotage, call it self-sabotage, but in the same way as, you know, you'd say my hair's blonde or my t-shirt's pink. You know, it's just, oh, I'm self-sabotaging. Not, oh, I'm self-sabotaging, I'm bad. I'm self-sabotaging. Therefore, there is a reason for me to do this, because every part of everybody, even the saboteur, has a positive intention. Every part of everybody has a positive intention. And so it is. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to figure out what's going on. What's happening with you? Where are you getting stuck exactly? And it may be that it's the same thing every time, that you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, fear of failure, fear of success, whatever it is might stop you at that point. If that's the case, you can get help to get past that fear. and move that. Once you know what it is, you can fix it. It may be that each occasion has been a different thing, that one time you did that and actually you didn't want to do it and that's why you stopped. One time you did that and fear of failure got in your way. One time you did that, fear of success got in your way. One time you did that. So do you know what I mean? You find that all of these so-called I'm always self-sabotaging are actually all different things, different issues that have come up. And the third step is I want you to imagine that your big dream is at the top of a staircase and all you have to do is walk up the stairs one by one by one by one. That's it. Just keep stepping. Now, that leads me to something else that is sometimes mislabeled as self-sabotage, and that is taking step 99 before step 1. So you've got that image in your head, big dream at the top, staircase going up. If you try from the bottom to step on the last step, unless you have very long legs or it's a very small staircase, you are not going to be able to do it and you're going to be stuck if you keep trying to do that. Now I know that sounds completely ridiculous because who would try and get upstairs that way? But that's actually what we do, is we often try and take a step too far. So you've got your big dream at the top of the staircase. What is the next step? Never mind about 6 steps ahead. What is the next step? And this sometimes gets mislabeled as self-sabotage. You're not actually self-sabotaging. You're just getting ahead of yourself. That's getting overexcited and trying to do something that it's not time to do yet. It's, you know, like Christmas Day and wanting to open your Christmas presents 3 days early. You can't do it. You've got to wait till Christmas Day. So you may be just trying to get ahead of yourself a little bit. So I hope that helps you. Let me know how it goes for you. If you have a question that you would like me to answer about making your big dream a reality, please get in touch. You can find me on the website, donnaonthebeach.com, on Facebook, facebook.com/donnaonthebeach, and on Twitter, twitter.com/donnaonthebeach. Please mention that it's a question for an Ask Donna video, just so I know. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.